What up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy Chef, and you already know what time it is. It's time for the YAK Pod, episode number 15. Now, we're going to do something a little bit different today because I got to get some things off my chest. I just got to get them off my chest, man. So, this is more of a rant session. Sometimes we got to vent. Now, I was making my way around the interwebs yesterday and YouTube and things of this nature, and I was just seeing some things. I was involved in some shows myself, some other shows that I saw, and I'm just like, man, what are we even talking about? Let's talk about the Steve Wilkes situation. Now, I saw a podcast and they were talking about the Steve Wilkes firing, and Steve Wilkes was scapegoated and all these things, and I was like, bruh, I was the first person that said directly after the Super Bowl that Steve Wilkes was most likely going to be fired. Yes, they needed a scapegoat to take all the pressure away from Kyle Shanahan. But the defense did not play poorly. The reason that they can talk about this and say and justify the situation, justify the decision rather, is that the defense couldn't stop the run. So you got these people who are doing this podcast and they're talking about, oh, you know, he was scapegoated. That wasn't the right move. That's some bull jive. Things of that nature, right? And then we get to the stat. Because they were like, oh, it was the from D'Amico Ryans, they went from giving up 18 points a game to 17 points a game. And the last time I checked, 17 was less than 18. Cool, no problem. But what did I say? They couldn't stop the run because they were exposed. They were exposed by the Packers, Lions, but ultimately they were exposed by the Ravens. Now the Ravens exposed everybody, and the Ravens rushing attack is something completely different, and I'm gonna get to the Ravens in a second. But the Packers ran all on them. The Lions ran all on them. That didn't look like a defense that was good at stopping the run. And then they get to the stat, well, the defensive ranking stopping the run it plummeted from number 2 to number 26. Well, damn. Didn't I say that? Didn't I say they can't stop the run? And the reason that they didn't have to really focus on the run was because the Chiefs are not a running football team. I've said it. The Chiefs have a $500 million quarterback that they want the ball in his hands. Okay? Patrick Mahomes has the ball in his hands. Patrick Mahomes is the focal point of the entire team, not just the offense. He is the focal point of the entire team. The offense goes out there with Patrick Mahomes and they have complete confidence that they're going to be able to do something, that they're going to be able to win the football game because Patrick Mahomes is their quarterback. The defense goes out there and has complete confidence that if they get the ball back to Patrick Mahomes, he's going to do something with it because they have complete confidence in him. He's Patrick Mahomes. He's the best quarterback in the NFL currently. He is creeping into the GOAT conversation. It seems to be inevitable that he will wind up being the GOAT. But right now, it's Tom Brady, as we know. So that's the team that you're facing in the Super Bowl. Yes, you held them to 19 points. But 2 weeks prior, the first half of the Lions game, you gave up 24 points and 150 rushing yards in the first half. That's why he was fired. That's why, because going forward, teams would do nothing but run the ball against them. I mean, if you went from 2 to 26, I think teams could figure out, we like to throw the ball around the yard, but we got some pretty good running backs. We got a decent running game. We can do some things against them. We can do the pin pull concept just like the Packers can, just like the Lions can. If you've been exposed in that manner and you're trying to get back to the Super Bowl, you're going to fire the guy that was the shepherd, that was the captain of the ship that went down from 2 to 26. It's just that simple. It's not rocket science. It's not racism. It's simple. If you are the defensive coordinator, your job is to coordinate the defense with all of the talent that Steve Wilks had at his disposal. He couldn't coordinate a defense that could stop the freaking run. Okay? I mean, people want to talk about AG and AG, fire AG, this, that, and the third thing. Listen, if AG had the type of defensive talent that Steve Wilks had, and he fielded a defense which was bad, which couldn't stop the run, I'd be like, okay, AG's defense stopped the run all year. We were top 5 at stopping the run all year. So when Steve Wilks' defense can't stop the run and they become vulnerable and people see that, then you have games like the Ravens, which the Ravens were a buzzsaw, so you can't really fault them. But then you have games like the Packers, where the Packers probably should have won that game, but they choked it away at the end because Jordan Love was just trying to make a heroic play instead of just taking what they gave him and methodically driving down the field and winning that football game, getting points on that drive to win the game. He didn't do that, right? The Lions should have won the game. We all know what happened in the second half. That's not why we're here. We're not here to revisit that. It's over. The Super Bowl is over. The Kansas City Chiefs are the champs. But to say that it's ludicrous and it's asinine and it's some bull jive and it doesn't make sense for Steve Wilks to be fired, no, that's not actually correct. He will be exposed. Their defense will be exposed next season if you keep your 26th ranked run defense. So I can understand why he was fired. That's why I said after the Super Bowl, he would most likely be fired. And I was right. And certain people played in the league for many years. And certain people are in Hall of Fames. But they couldn't see that fall from 2 to 26 was his ultimate undoing. All right. Now, let's move on to the next topic. I said we would get to the Ravens in a minute. The Lamar Jackson hate. Stop it. I don't understand it. I'm like, there are a certain section of people who are football fans who want Lamar to be bad so badly. They want him to fail so badly. The man is a 2-time unanimous Let me say that again. He's a 2-time unanimous MVP. Okay? I'm not counting that bullcrap that Buffalo guy did voting for Josh Allen, because that was inexplicable. And whoever that guy is, he needs to have his vote taken. They need to replace him with somebody else. You voted for Josh Allen because you're a Buffalo guy. Nobody else voted for Josh Allen or anybody else to be the MVP. No one voted for Patrick Mahomes to be the MVP, because the MVP is a regular season award. You want to kill Lamar for his playoff issues, but we did the same thing with Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was the greatest regular season quarterback ever. But guess what? He got a couple. Right? Y'all do it with A-Rod. Now, I personally dislike Aaron Rodgers. I dislike him so much. I think he's an ass. He had stuff to say about the city of Detroit, and Sue knocked him out, got concussed, and it was like you running your mouth about the city of Detroit, not the team, the city. All right? The city is the people. The city is where people live, where people work, where people go through their daily lives, and you have something to say about the people in the city? Nah, that's unacceptable, man. Keep it football. Keep it football. I don't care nothing about Green Bay, bro. I don't care nothing, but I don't know about the city, right? If I'm a professional football player or a professional athlete of any kind, and I'm going to different cities and I'm talking about the cities on the radio, like, nah. So you got knocked out. You got knocked up out. And I was cool with that because I felt that you deserved it, right? But A-Rod has 4 MVPs and 1 Super Bowl. Are people saying that he sucks? I mean, people are saying that Lamar sucks. And I know these people are not significant. And I know these people don't matter because anybody with half a brain is not going to tell you that Lamar Jackson sucks. Like, when you say a person sucks, it means that they are bad at football. Not that, oh, he can't get it done in the playoffs. That's fair until it isn't. But Lamar Jackson sucks. A 2-time unanimous MVP, and I'm going to call him a unanimous MVP for this year because that was some bull crap. Okay? So I'm not accepting it. Like, this guy violated the sanctity of the voting rules. Like, he violated the code. So I'm just going to take his vote and I'm just going to disqualify it. And I'm going to say instead of 50 votes this year, there were 49. And Lamar Jackson got all of them. All of them. Lamar Jackson is him. I don't know. Kansas City is probably the only team that wouldn't take Lamar Jackson right now. Kansas City is probably the only team that would not take Lamar. Like, if every team had a realistic chance to get Lamar Jackson, right? If you told them you can trade your quarterback for any available quarterback, 31, well, not 31 because the Ravens already got him, but 30 NFL teams would take Lamar Jackson. 30 of them. Because when we looked at the AFC Championship game, we could say that the Ravens went against what they had done that got them there, that made them successful, which was running the football, right? So that is a more so coaching problem, right? Todd Monken was the whiz kid that came in and did everything, and he fixed the offense, and the defense was humming along, and they were just a buzzsaw. But when they got to the AFC Championship game, they went away from the run. They didn't establish the run. They gave up on it far too early, and they just said, Lamar, go out and play hero ball. Shouldn't have done that. Had they not done that, had they stuck to their guns, they may have beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. But that's Lamar. If you're saying he sucks, you need to have your head examined. You need to stop drinking. As Stephen A. Smith says, stay off the weed. Now, the next thing that I saw was pertaining to the Detroit Lions. And it was a podcast, and they were talking about the Khalil Mack trade. Let me take a step back. Let me breathe. These people were absolutely nuts. These people were absolutely nuts because the conversation went into James Houston. And both of these people on this podcast said that they were not fans of James Houston. My man had like 8 sacks in 8 games, 8 and 9 games. What's not to like about James Houston as a pure pass rusher? Is he the best pure pass rusher that we have on the roster? Yes. How do you not like the best pure pass rusher that we have on the roster? I'm not a fan of his. Why are you not a fan of his? Like, we have fans that are talking and they just come from a place of, I don't know where the place is. It's not from a place of football knowledge, right? So Deion Sanders told James Houston, if you're going to make it in the league, you need to get on that defensive end, on that defensive line, because he wanted to be a linebacker. You need to get on that line and you need to do what you do. I mean, freaking James Houston is called the problem, not just because his last name is Houston. We have a problem. No, we have a problem because James Houston is a freakish athlete running after your quarterback. His bend is freaking crazy. His get off is crazy. But people want to say, oh, he didn't do anything in the NFC Championship game. Yeah, well, you know what? It was his first game back from breaking his damn ankle in the second week of the season. There was a reason that the Lions coaching staff held him out until the last possible game, right? They felt that if they were going to get to the Super Bowl, they needed to put that pressure on Brock Purdy. And they said, James Houston, you're the man to do that. We're tired of looking at Charles Harris and randoms. We need James Houston in this NFC Championship game. James Houston did not play any regular season games after week 2. James Houston did not play in the first 2 playoff games. But they said in the NFC Championship game, we need all hands on deck, and James Houston is our guy. Now, did he make an impact? Again, not really. But what I'm telling you is that, again, he was injured for the entire season. It was essentially a season-ending injury because it happened in the regular season. The playoffs is a different season. It happened in the regular season, and he was done for the regular season. He was out. Finito. So, what the hell is a Detroit Lions fan doing slandering James Houston? Why? Why? He wanted an opportunity to play linebacker. They tried to move him into some coverage, and it was a rough start. In the first 2 games of the season, we don't know what he could have done with it had he played the full season. It's the same thing with C.D. Deuce, C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Like, oh, we don't need C.J. G.J. He antics, blah, 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 blah. Like, dude, he played 2 games in the regular season. And on one of them, he wasn't healthy in that one because that was the one where he tore his pec in the beginning of the game and finished the game with a torn pectoral muscle. If you do not want a player on your team who is a dog who will play an entire game with a torn pec muscle, I don't know what to tell you. I don't care about the antics and the, oh, he was waving bye to the fans, and he had a feud with Debo Samuel, and oh, he's not a choir boy, and he's not this. Man, I don't give a damn. I want dogs on my team. And if we have the opportunity to bring CJ Gardner-Johnson back, we bring him back. What is it with these fans that just hate good players? And then they want to talk about it like, why are you talking? Like, bro, I don't even understand. I don't understand. I have no idea. Players are good. You want them on your team. Players are bad. You don't want them on your team. I think it seems that simple. I personally had an axe to grind with Jeff Okudah, because Jeff Okudah, not only did he go to Ohio State, or as I like to call it, Oh Hell No State. I called him Jeff Oh Hell No Kuda. But he was terrible. He was bad. He was a wasted pick. Number 3 overall. Played like an undrafted free agent. And actually, an undrafted free agent in Jerry Jacobs was better than him. Did I want him on the team? No. I don't want any Ohio State player on the team because I'm a Michigan fan. But once you get on that team and you make a difference, like Taylor Decker has done for his entire career, I can't say nothing about you, bro. You're on my team. I'm a fan of the Detroit Lions. You're on my team. What am I saying about you? I want you to do well. But if I identify very early that you suck, then I probably won't give you as many chances as I would give someone else from Ohio State. But that's my bias, and I'm telling you that. James Houston, what is your bias? How do you sit here and say both of these people in lockstep that they are not fans of James Houston? Listen, bruh. That's it, man. Because I'm venting and I can't understand it. I just can't take it. We gotta do better, man. We gotta do better. How in the hell do we have some of these opinions that we have, man? I don't get it, man. But anyway, as we say all the time, smash that like button, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend, share this rant. Okay, I came in the kitchen to rant. I was cooking. Okay? Everything was on fire. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you see it in the background? You see the fire? No, you don't see the fire. Okay, anyway. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to see you guys next time. Peace.